In the 90s, Mom thought laser pointers could down a jet. Dad swore Mountain Dew shrank. Future generations and every Halloween Snickers got the TSA treatment. Turns out the real danger was parental paranoia. Welcome to Cringe Capsule, where we raid the family junk drawer of urban legends and find nothing but pop rock's dust. Tonight, we're debunking the myths our guardians swore by: hidden Disney smut, Y2K bathtub hoarding, and the neon soda that allegedly nuked puberty. Grab a juice box, yellow number 5 optional, and let's fact check the fear. Halloween razor blade mania, X-raying Snickers for phantom psychos, 90s tradition. Every October, local news roll the same B-roll, gloved hands slicing open candy bars, ominous zooms on sewing needles, a stern anchor warning, check your children's treats. The legend dated back to the 1960s, but the 90s turned it into annual theater. PTA flyers claimed depraved strangers were hiding razor blades in apples, pins in Milky Ways, even cyanide in pixie sticks. Parents responded with Cold War gusto. Trick-or-treat loot was dumped on kitchen tables for forensic inspection under 100-watt bulbs. Anything homemade went straight to the trash. Sorry, kindly neighbor with the popcorn balls. Hospitals offered free candy X-rays. You'd wait in line behind costumed kids while a radiology tech scanned fun-sized Twix like contraband at TSA. Actual data? Nearly all reported tamperings were hoaxes or desperate pranks, kids inserting objects themselves to scare parents, or isolated custody disputes framed as random terror. Epidemiologists found 0 confirmed cases of a stranger seriously injuring a child via Halloween candy. The biggest danger remained jaywalking across dark streets, but try telling that to a mom armed with a paring knife and a paranoia playlist. By the 2000s, trunk-or-treat events and prepackaged party bags tried to quell the fear, yet the ritual lives on. We still peel open Kit Kats with surgical precision, proving the real tradition isn't candy mutilation, it's generational anxiety wrapped in cellophane. And somewhere a bored radiologist misses the yearly parade of skeleton costumes tossing Snickers onto the X-ray plate just to be safe. Laser pointers will blind pilots, and probably your math teacher too, 1998 to 2000. In the late 90s, every mall kiosk hawked red laser pointers next to mood rings and Tamagotchi knockoffs. $10 got you a cat-teasing beam and instant classroom clout until the 6 p.m. news aired grainy cockpit footage and declared this could down an airplane. Reporters warned that a single flicker at cruising altitude could fry a pilot's retinas and send a 747 spiraling into a cornfield. Overnight, the pointer jumped from novelty gizmo to weapon of mass disruption. School districts updated handbooks to lump lasers with firearms, some even threatened expulsion for beam possession. Hall monitors confiscated pointers like they were contraband lightsabers, and substitute teachers opened class with, "If I see a red dot on the board, everyone's getting detention." Reality check. Yes, aiming a laser at aircraft is illegal and dangerous, but the 5 milliwatt red pointers kids bought at Radio Shack lose potency long before reaching 30,000 feet. Optical scientists liken the risk to a camera flash in daylight. Still, panic trumped physics. Parents hid the gadgets in junk drawers beside forbidden surge cans. Certain Junior might accidentally blind the geography teacher, or Tom Hanks on his next flight. The craze fizzled once green, higher-powered lasers hit hobby shops, and everyone realized those were the real hazard. But for a brief, panicky era, the humble red dot turned tech-loving 90s kids into unwitting supervillains, proof that if it blinks, blips, or beams, adults will find a way to ban it. Purple Stuff and JNCO's mall goth drug hysteria, mid-90s. Picture the food court in 1996. You're sipping a neon surge, your jeans are wider than the doorway, and you feel invincible. Until you hear mom whisper that kids dressed like you are secretly on purple stuff. No, not grape soda. According to PTA chain letters and local news hot takes, purple was code for cough syrup cocktail, and baggy pants were the uniform of junior drug mules. The panic had layers. First came JNCOs, monstrous denim built to smuggle a desktop PC, let alone a vial of NyQuil. Rumor mill said gangs used the cavernous legs to stash contraband, So some schools literally broke out tape measures at the front door. Too much flair? Go home and change, or roll the cuffs like denim burritos so the hallway narc could see your shoes. Then there was the beverage scare, Surge, Mystic Grape, even Sunny Delights, purple stuff. Ad got lumped into warnings about scissor. Principals confiscated soda cans during lunch sweeps, convinced a kid might be freebasing dime tap between algebra and gym. The irony? Actual Purple Drank was a southern rap scene menace kids learned about only because adults wouldn't stop talking about it. Outcome: thousands of harmless mall goths were treated like walking rave raids, while the rest of us just wondered why our refreshing citrus caffeine bomb was suddenly contraband. Chalk it up as another 90s moment when fashion plus fluorescence equaled felony in parental math. Y2K Doomsday Prep, when Dad turned the basement into a bunker, 1998 to 2000. Long before conspiracy TikTok, the scariest 4-character string on Earth was Y2K. Tech experts warned that at midnight, December 31st, 1999, computers would read 00 and promptly crash the power grid, nuke the banks, and maybe launch a few stray missiles for good measure. Cable news ran graphics of spinning clocks and stock photos of panicked office workers. Suddenly, every suburban parent fancied themselves a Cold War survivalist. Kroger aisles looked like The Walking Dead. Carts stacked with Dinty Moore, distilled water, and enough AA batteries to power a small nation. Mom filled old milk jugs in the bathtub, just in case the water plant explodes. Dad printed our bank statements and hid them in a fireproof box as though Visa would restart civilization using his Sears card balance. Meanwhile, kids were hyped for the greatest New Year's Eve ever, staying up past midnight, eating canned pudding straight from the prep stash, and waiting to see if the living room lamp even flickered. The ball dropped, clocks rolled to 12 a.m., and nothing happened except Dick Clark shouting, "Happy New Year!" Streetlights stayed on. Nintendo 64 saved files survived. Parents exhaled, eyeing 40 pounds of creamed corn they'd now be eating until 2003. Post-mortem reports showed most critical systems had long been patched. The panic spread faster than the bug ever could. But for one glorious winter, Y2K turned PTA boards into prepper forums and made us all believe the future hinged on whether Grandpa still owned a manual can opener. Disney's hidden sex messages, VHS frame-by-frame panic, 90s. Pre-Facebook moms had chain emails and nothing clogged their AOL inbox faster than "Disney is corrupting your children." The evidence? Single-frame Easter eggs that supposedly turned G-rated classics into soft-core scandal. Exhibit A, the Little Mermaid VHS cover where one castle spire looked suspiciously anatomical. Rumor claimed a disgruntled artist snuck in a golden phallus before quitting. Disney quietly redrew the box art, fueling the myth forever. Exhibit B, Aladdin. Pause exactly at 23:14. Crank the volume, and you'll kind of hear Teenage Al whisper, "Good teenagers, take off your clothes." Reality. Audio engineers say it's "Good kitty, take off and go," shooing Raja the tiger, but once PTA meetings replayed it on boomboxes, the phrase became scripture. Final boss, the Lion King. When Simba flops onto a cliff, a puff of dust swirls skyward. Some swore it spelled sex. Proof Disney animators were moonlighting as late-night Cinemax. The effects team insists it says SFX, a sly nod to the animation department. Good luck convincing Aunt Linda. Parents marched, talk radio raged, and school newsletters advised taping over offending segments with Barney episodes. Kids, of course, spent entire sleepovers pausing tapes frame by frame, whispering, "I totally saw it!" Result, zero corrupted youth, but millions of eyeballs scrutinizing Disney at 1/30th of a second. The Mouse House survived. The legends live on, proving nothing spreads faster than a suggestive castle and a slow-motion VCR. Mountain Dew and Surge will shrink your future family, the yellow number 5 scare, late 90s. Neon sodas were the lifeblood of 90s lunchrooms, until a whisper campaign claimed every sip of Mountain Dew or Surge was kryptonite for puberty. The culprit? Yellow number 5 food dye. Cafeteria scientists, aka older brothers, explained it with absolute authority. The dye lowers sperm count and shrinks a certain body part you definitely don't want smaller. One kid even swore he read it in a medical journal. Translation: a GeoCities gossip page. Parents panicked. Some banned all green and yellow beverages, swapping in murky homemade iced tea that tasted like betrayal. Health teachers fielded earnest questions about cola castration. 7-Eleven clerks watched sales dive as boys contemplated a lifetime of Capri Sun just to be safe. Reality check, multiple studies, actual peer-reviewed ones, found no link between yellow number 5, tartrazine, and reproductive doom. The FDA still classifies it as safe, though it can trigger mild allergies in rare cases. No shrinking, no count dropping, just day-glow pee if you chug a big gulp. Yet the myth stuck, right alongside gum stays in you 7 years. Surge's marketing didn't help. Commercials of dudes smashing through walls like caffeinated Kool-Aid men suggested the soda could rewire biology. The panic finally fizzed out when energy drinks arrived. Apparently taurine and guarana didn't sound as snip-happy. Lesson learned. In the 90s, any additive you couldn't pronounce was automatically an endocrine apocalypse, especially if it glowed like nuclear ectoplasm. Pop rocks plus soda equals internal combustion. The urban legend that refused to burp away, 90s revival. Original recipe: take 1 packet of Pop Rocks, add a can of Coke, then wait for your stomach to explode like a Mentos commercial from hell. The myth was born in the late 70s. RIP to fictional Little Mikey from the Life cereal ads, but by the mid-90s, it staged a comeback on every school bus in America. Someone's cousin's neighbor definitely died after recess. Teachers confiscated Pop Rocks at Halloween parties, and lunch monitors acted like the candy was C4 in crinkly foil. Science class reality check: Pop Rocks contain pressurized carbon dioxide trapped in sugar. When they hit saliva, they fizz. Combine them with soda and, spoiler, you just get extra burps. A 12-ounce Coke already packs far more CO2 than a candy packet. Your esophagus is not a sealed mason jar. One belch and the bomb disarms. Even the FDA took out newspaper ads in 1979, assuring parents no children had detonated. By the 90s, they probably sighed, dug out the old press release, and faxed it to panicked PTAs. Of course, logic never stood a chance against cafeteria theater. Risk-takers staged pop tests, chugging cola while classmates gasped, ready to sprint for the nurse. The payoff? A heroic, earth-shaking hiccup. Yet the legend persisted because every generation loves a good forbidden snack story. Moral: kids will believe anything that turns ordinary candy into potential body horror, right up until they realize the only thing exploding is their social cachet for 5 seconds of fizzy burps. And that crew is the 90s rumor roundup. 0 stomach explosions, testicles intact, pilot still flying. If you've got another parental myth we missed, drop it in the comments and let's keep the debunking going. Smash subscribe for more nostalgia autopsies every week, and remember, the scariest thing about our childhood wasn't Pop Rocks. It was believing everything on chain emails. See you in the next Cringe Capsule.